Hey there guys, this is the Unit 6 review video covering division problems. These will be problems 3, 6, 17, 20, and 25. So to begin, we see number 3 says simplify. You know you will have a division problem when you see a division bar, so make sure to be able to differentiate. Sometimes they're multiply, sometimes they're add, sometimes they're combined like terms, or, as we're covering in this video, division. For division, it's the same steps. You will always draw the box. I know some of you prefer double distribution, but for the division problem, the box method is really the easiest way to solve it. So we'll draw a 2 by 2 box. Now, for the division problem, we kind of work backwards. We know one of our parentheses, 3x plus 1. But we don't know the top parentheses. Notice they don't give us the other one. So this one gave us n plus 5, n plus 5. This one we only have 3x plus 1. But they give us the end result. They give us the area. Well, we know that we usually get our x squared values in the first box. So first term goes in first box. So the 9x squared will go here. Last term will go in the last box. So the positive one will go here. From here, you're just working backwards. So you're asking yourself, okay, 3x times what will give me 9x squared? Well, we know we multiply number by number, and 3 times 3 is 9. So I need a 3 to turn that 3 into a 9. And to make this x an x squared, well, I know x times x is x squared. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. I have half my answer. Now you look at the other number you wrote in, your last term. Positive 1 times what is positive 1? Well, I know 1 times 1 is 1. Now, since it's a positive 1, make sure you write the plus 1, because your answer is not just 3x1, it's 3x plus 1. But let's say we wanted to check your answer. If you want to check your answer, you just fill in your box. So 3x times 1 is 3x. 1 times 3x is 3x. When you combine, you want to make sure it adds up to the middle term. Well, 3x plus 3x is 6x. So we know we did this correctly. So this is how you can double check your answers. Yeah. So we go on to problem number 6. So for problem number 6, we see that it's another division problem. There's two ways you will see division shown. It will either be shown by a fraction bar, which also means divide, or just a regular division symbol. You solve them the same way. So these are the same type of problems. So we still draw our 2 by 2 box. And we will still only be given one of the parentheses. So my x minus 8. Same thing, I'm going to fill in my first term, my last term. So in this case, my first term is x squared. My last term is positive 72. And from here, I can work backwards. So I can say, okay, well, x times what is x squared? Well, hopefully at this point, you all know that x times x is x squared. Now here's where I have to be a little bit careful. Negative 8 times what is 72? If you don't know your factors of 8, that's fine. Work backwards. 72 divided by negative 8 is what? That would give you negative 9. 8 times 9 is 72. Negative times negative is positive. So be careful about signs. If you had put plus 9, you would get the right number but the wrong sign, because you would be left with a negative 72. So my answer is x minus 9. But let's say you didn't know if this is right. Well, lucky for you, these type of problems have a self-built self-checker. So let's finish our box and see if we can get this negative 17 middle term. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x. Negative 8x plus negative 9x is indeed negative 17x, which means you did it correctly and you can be confident that this is your answer. So if you need to pause the video to write this down, feel free to, but we are now going to move on to question 17, which is on the next page. So we have question 17. Now be careful, some students may look at this quickly and think it's a subtraction problem. Make sure you know it's division. So, since it's a division problem, my first step is to draw my 2 by 2 box. My outside term is 3x minus 1. My first and last term need to go in. My first term is 12x squared My last term is negative 9. So once you filled in your side parentheses and your first and last term, you can start working backwards. So we'll start with the number. I want to turn 3 multiplied by something to give me 12. If you don't know what 3 times what is 12, just do 12 divided by 3, and you would get 4, because 3 times 4 is 12. And we know that x times x will give me x squared. 3x times 4x is 12x. Then you look at your last term. Negative 1 times what is negative 9? Well, I already have the sign I want, so we're going to keep it positive, because negative times positive is negative. I don't have the number I want, but I know I can turn it into a 9 by multiplying by 9. Negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. My answer is 4x plus 9. Once again, maybe you're not 100% confident. You want to get the best grade possible. Check your answer. 9 times 3x is 27x, because 9 times 3 is 27, keep the x. 4x times negative 1 is negative 4x. 27x minus 4x is 23x. You know you did it correctly, so you know number 17 is correct. Now we're going to go to the next page to do the last two problems. So you have problem 20, which is, once again, a division bar or a fraction bar, so it's still divide. So make sure you know when to divide, when to add, and when to multiply, and when to subtract. Draw your 2 by 2 box. Your divisor, the number being divided, or your denominator, will always go on the side. 2x minus 8. Inside the box will go 4x squared. Now you might say, hey, this looks different than normal. It only has 2 things instead of 3 things. What's really going on here, we know standard form is written in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. But we only have 2 terms. Notice you have the x squared value. Notice you have the value without the number. What you're really missing is the b term. So this is really what's going on here. 4x squared plus 0x minus 64. So you're missing the middle term. But that's okay, because you still have the first term and you still have the last term. So you can solve it like normal. We'll write down the negative 64 here and solve as normal. So as long as you have the first term and as long as you have the last term, you can do this box method for division. So work backwards. I know 2 times 2 is 4, and x times x is x squared. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Negative 64. If you don't know factors of 8, just divide. Negative 64 divided by negative 8 would give you positive 8, which works out. 8 times 8 is 64. Negative times positive is negative. So negative 8 times positive 8 is negative 64. My answer is 2x plus 8. But let's check our answer. Maybe we're wrong. 8 times 2x is 16x. 2x times negative 8 is negative 16x. If you combine these, 16x minus 16x is 0. Notice you end up with that 0x. That's why you only have a first and last term, because your diagonals end up canceling out. So we did it correctly. Our last question will be question 25, which is the last division question on your exam or on your review. So we see a division bar. This one we have all 3 terms, so we can solve it like normal. We will put in our side parentheses, x plus 4, my first term and my last term. First term is x squared, last term is 40, and work backwards. X times x is x squared. 4 times what is 40? Well, 4 times 10. But my answer isn't x10. It's a positive 10, because my answer is x plus 10. So make sure, if you have a positive 10, to write the plus on top, because your answer is going to be x plus 10. And let's check your answer. This will give you 10x. 4 times x will give you 4x. 10x plus 4x is 14x. So you did it correctly. So these are all the division problem under Unit 6 review. If you have any questions, feel free to stop by tutoring. If you have any questions on any other questions on your review, go back to Canvas and look for the numbers on the different videos. So they're all separated by section. So A little mixed up, but that's fine. Canvas will tell you which videos cover which numbers. So, good luck on your test.